Hey guys, it's Zach the Gear Guy, OGE. Thank you so much for responding to that poll on Instagram this for what seemed to be over 2 weeks now. I asked if you guys wanted to see the predictions video because due to unforeseen circumstances, which I cannot control, I will not be at SHW 45. But you guys want to predict my predictions, so I'm going to give them to you. That's what the OGE lifestyle is all about. It's about giving to you fans as the ombudsman to the fans. So, what have I got here? I have got the full card to SHW 45. And let's kick it off. And just before we kick it off, there will be no, just as a quick PSA, there will be no episode 11 filmed on November 4th. Episode 11 will be delayed in filming because of the conflict with circumstances I can't control. But anyway, also if you're new to the predictions, by all means, sorry. These are my predictions, my raw reactions to the card. I haven't had anybody DM me. I haven't had anybody pay me in advance. These are my predictions, my thoughts, my opinions. And that's all that matters here, is these are my thoughts, my own opinions, going into this card. And do not forget to comment your predictions down in the comment section down below this video. And I guess I'll see on IWTV, but you guys will get to see if you're coming to SHW 45, who wins, who loses, all that jazz. So let's dive into this card here. First match announced was stemming off of last month. After that, yet another controversial win, as Chip Day put his foot on the ropes. Kyle Matthews got the controversial win. That match was a real treat, Chip Day versus Kyle Matthews. Todd Sexton comes out and says, look, Chip, you gotta stop putting your ego in front of you. You can't be Chip effing Day all day. And Kyle, you're no different. Both of you put each other's egos to the side. I don't know if you remember it, but I was in a match with Jimmy Rave, and you guys are going to be in a match next month in a 30-minute Iron Man match. And Chip, if you're not happy about that, and just so you don't about it, I'm going to be the referee. So we have a 30-minute Iron Man match with special guest referee Todd Sexton. We have Chip Day versus Kyle Matthews. Oh boy, 30-minute Iron Man match. This is going to be tough for me. Like I said before, in my last one, if you didn't watch that one, I did end up having Chip on one of the gear logs. I think it was episode 9. Yeah, it was 9. And we just have that Kennesaw connection between me and Chip. Of course, me going to KSU. You know, we just have that Kennesaw connection where we find solace in each other. Kyle Matthews, Chip is the two-time technical wrestler in Georgia, from the Georgia history, from the Georgia Wrestling History Awards. Um, but Kyle Matthews, on the other hand, is the technical wizard. He's the 8 time he's won it that many times. They had to name it the Kyle Matthews Technical Wrestler of the Year award. So Kyle Matthews coming off a win off of what's going to go down in the history books as a win in that 2 out of 3 falls match from last month. I don't see this going 30 minutes. Yet again, we don't know if there's going to be overtime. We don't know if there's going to be DQs, you know. But with Todd Sexton, I think there's going to be a lot more, you know, much more refereeing, like a lot more, no controversial play is what I'm trying to get at, with Todd Sexton being the referee. If you're gonna do something, I think Todd's gonna see it. Let alone, both these guys spent most of the past 2 years as former SHW tag team champions. That tag team, of course, being Technical Excellence. This is going to be another hard one for me. 30-minute Iron Man match. If there is going to be sudden death, I don't know how much both these competitors are going to have left in the tank. But at the end of the day, I think I'm going to go with Chip Day. Chip Day gets the win here in this one, considering Kyle Matthews got the fluke victory over him last month. Chip just has that edge, a bigger chip, no pun intended, on his shoulder. I don't see him, you know, losing to Kyle Matthews again. Anyway, speaking of, well, I don't want to say losing, but, speaking of losing, yeah, actually, speaking of forced surrender, actually, is the better term here. Gunnar Miller, for those of you who haven't watched SHW, still here for yet, go on to IWTV and watch that. It was a great match at the War Chamber. Unfortunately, Gunnar tried to negotiate peace with Dishonor. Like, he surrendered the match, but everybody else wanted to keep on fighting. And the unthinkable happens when the Heathen Cruel and Brooklyn take light tubes to Gary, even though they even threatened Gunnar with hitting light tubes over Gary if Gunnar didn't surrender. It just goes to show how much Gunnar would stick up for Gary. And I know we heard from Murder One and other competitors saying, like, yo, they'll sacrifice Gary any day just for the W, but Gunnar made the ultimate decision to cost him, and he has gone on to apologize to us, the fans, everybody close to him. Like, there were grown men crying that night. I was in disbelief. I even looked at Diana on stage and I said, what now? Like, what now? What state of mind could we be at now? Now that Dishonor's won this thing. Even Faye, the nicest woman actually, who does ticket sales, was screaming at Gunnar as he was leaving, "You failed Gary." And I quote, but now Gunner has come on Facebook, and even Marcus, like I was standing by, Marcus, aka Gunner Jr., is what I love to call him. Shout out to you, Gunner Miller, and Gunner Jr. That was a fun night being with you by ringside as the War Chamber was happening. But we were in utter disbelief. And Gunner has apologized and said, quote unquote, "Contra, send me whoever you want. I will take you out one by one by one for what you did to Gary and to the fans." So Brooklyn has arranged Combat Carly Bravo to go one on my former homie in Overkill. Combat Carly Bravo to go up against Gunner Miller this month at SHW 45. Carly, in my opinion, lost at Dishonor. He was the only loss at Dishonor. I will still say that. But and he also I do get it that he is somewhere high ranked, like maybe 6, 5, or 7 in the wrestling PWI 500 this year. Props to you, Carly, and you just regained an SFCW championship. Good for you. Wow, awesome. But so you could say Carly's at some momentum here. But what did that one loss do for you, Carly? You know, with Carly being a former Overkill brother of mine, I should have the back of Carly here. But there's something within me that says Gunner kind of feels like, you know, he let everybody down. Kind of like Dylan after that chain match at SHW 39, where he lost to Cruel and felt like he let everybody down. And when you feel like you let somebody down, you know, you gotta bounce back, like, and you get one chance and one chance only to do most things. And like they say, time travel hasn't been invented. You can't go back and redo War Chamber. That opportunity's done. So I think I'm going to go with Gunner Miller. I'm going to go with Gunner Miller on this one. Now, mind you, Gunner has faced Carly before, as a surprise entrant. But I think Carly has more momentum ever since joining Contra now. Because he claims, he's better, but, yeah, let's go Gunner. Like, I believe in you and your quest to dethrone Contra one by one by one. And you're starting off strong. So good luck to you, Gunner. We also have a Southern Honor Wrestling Tag Team title match. And Gunner Miller also real quick. Grind Club represent. Anyway, back to this tag team title match. We have Salvernaro, Sunny Days, Happy Madness, after seemingly, it's been a while since the SHW Tag Team Championships have been defended in SHW. The last time they were defended, my guys, and as of this moment, official Grind Club members, All-Star Special, Hold My Beer Handsome, William Huckabee, defended them and lost them, and then were strictly fired. Hashtag rehire All-Star Special. That's what we need, is All-Star Special back. Bring back my homies. Bring back my guys. But anyway, Happy Madness, your current SHW Tag Team Champions, will be defending against the first ever inaugural co-winners and Grind Club members, Jordan Kingsley and Adam Jacobs. I believe that Adam Jacobs is a 25-year veteran and has been away from wrestling for a while. And it's nice to see him back in SHW once again on the card. Jordan Kingsley, SHW original, and somebody who I thought has been mostly underlooked for a title shot. So yet, here's Jordan Kingsley again in a title match. So, SHW Galaxy, please do us a favor. No questions asked. I am going to go with and new SHW Tag Team Champions. Not only the Diamond Dallas Page Cup winners, but new SHW Tag Team Champions, Jordan Kingsley and Adam Jacobs, are going to bring those belts back to the Grind Club. And they will put on a tremendous showing because Adam Jacobs says he's been on the road with Sal Renaro before. He's faced Sal, he's faced Sunny Days, so he knows what they are capable of. He knows what, and Jordan's faced probably Sal Renaro and Sunny Days before, or at least encountered them, so both men know what they're doing. And I think they have a great potential run as tag team champions. So good luck to you guys in that, and represent the Grind Club. Next up, we have two men who I'm very familiar with, and who I'm actually very close to. We have the working team captain and my homie, Owen Knight, versus my Overkill brother, Outlandish Zicky Dice. We got this match around SHW, I'd like to say somewhere around SHW 27, close to 28, early 29, sometime around there. It's great to see Zicky Dice return ever since Rumblejack this year. It's just a shame I'm going to miss seeing him this time around. Zicky Dice, Owen Knight. Oof, this one's going to be tough for me to pick one. I'm going to say I am neutral between Zicky Dice and and Owen Knight. Either men. Both men have wins over Combat Carly Bravo. Both men have faced each other before. I like both men. I am neutral in this position. Both men are great talents, and it's great to have both of them facing one-on-one. We also have the return of Ashton Starr, which it's great to see Ashton return. I haven't seen him since episode 7, which was probably SHW 41, from my understanding. When I got to speak with Ashton, that was a great conversation to have with him. He's bringing back the Petty Party, which the last one we had was on Zicky Dice's birthday, and Classic B Double gets into the cupcakes and gets into trouble with that one. And it's kind of crazy, but this one, so basically in SHW we say whenever the Petty Party comes in, something's going to be. It's basically like how Britt Baker used to have the waiting room, where, you know, like a heated riot, like kind of like how when Cody was on, how Jade would come in. You know, the more explosive rivalries happen somehow, some way in the Petty Party, like we've seen when Ashton Starr and Zicky Dice were, when Zicky and Ashton overkill, the very faction your boy's the 6th member of, actually won the tag team titles. Technical Excellence came into the ring and tried to get the belts back, and in the process saved Brandon. We've seen where, you know, Ashton's had a Petty Party and with Owen Knight and called him guest. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen in the Petty Party, and that's no different as Ashton Starr hosts the Petty Party with Joe Black, the Black Cloud of Contra. And two-finger salute to this man. Murder One. Yes, Murder One. The man who was wearing the shirt I'm wearing right now in an SHW ring, which is unheard of. Murder One, the Blacklist Uno, is going to be back in SHW, and we've seen, and they both know, Joe Black and Murder One, for those of you who don't know, they've been together for years, and now this rivalry, ever since Joe Black eliminated Murder One, there's been this rivalry that we've been seeing in the War Chamber and other times before then. So, what am I thinking here? Is it likely that these two will get back together? I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is this Petty Party is going to result into some brawling, and then probably most likely a match for the next month after, if not the same night, because I think Murder One's coming in with some questions, like, hey, why'd you eliminate me at Rumblejack? Why Contra? Why this? You know, you don't need this. I think that's what he's going to say to Joe Black. I don't know. But who knows? Finally, in your main event, man, am I going to be sad I'm missing this amazing main event that I've been wanting to see in an SHW ring. I know it's happened outside of SHW, but I've wanted it inside SHW in a no DQ, anything goes match. It will be the Bloodbath Behemoth Tank and the Rev Dan Wilson versus Cruel and Brooklyn versus Cruel. Tank takes on Cruel one-on-one, presumably with Brooklyn in his corner, for the SHW Championship. Now, I did say that I've seen the match happen outside of SHW, and that was actually at ICW No Holds Barred. Intense Combat Wrestling, No Holds Barred. Tank did face Cruel at one of those events. I think it was ICW 29, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen Tank in many death matches, presumably with the Killbilly Nathan Mowry, and I've seen the Gunnar Miller and Tank match on IWTV. Cruel, on the other hand, I've seen footage of him in deathmatch scenarios. So I've seen him at his best. I've seen him at the more deathmatch side of him. I've seen a lot of stuff on both these men. So which one am I going to go with? Now Tank has went in and out of retirement for so many years. He's been an NWA Wildside Tag Team Champion multiple times. So I am going to go with none other than Tank. What were you expecting? So, this is going to be interesting for your main event, Tank versus Cruel, because it could just go from like what's supposed to be a regular match to a straight up death match. I don't know, maybe tables will be involved. Who knows? With these two, it could spill all the way to the audience. You never know. All I just hope is Diana's alright. But anyway, my results are this. 30-minute Iron Man match for the #1 contendership to the SHW title. With special guest Todd Sexton. Your new #1 contender, I am predicting, will be Chip Day. Carly Bravo versus Gunnar Miller. I'm going Gunnar Miller. Southern Honor Tag Team title match. I am going, it's either Happy Madness or Jordan Kingsley and Adam Jacobs. I am going Jordan Kingsley and Adam Jacobs. Those belts are coming back to the Grind Club. Owen Knight versus Zicky Dice. I am neutral. I want either man to win and put on the best match ever. Ashton Starr's Petty Party with Joe Black and Murder One. I think that's just a powder keg ready to explode. Either a match is going to come to a result in either in December or at that night. And in your main event, Tank with Rev Dan Wilson and Cruel, presumably with Brooklyn in his corner. in an anything goes, no holds barred match for the SHW title. I think Tank has the experience to take out Cruel. That has been your predictions, or at least my predictions, of SHW 45. And I'll see you all next month. See you then.